everyone. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but finally have some time in my hands, so I'm gonna get it going. Today I am going to film myself doing my makeup, my everyday routine. I'll share with you the products, why I love them, how I use them, and kind of show you how I get my makeup on and how I get ready for the day. So let's get started. Alright, so the first step of my makeup routine is primer, and I've been currently loving this primer by Milk. It's the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Got it for Christmas. Just take a small amount. I just put it on the back of my hand, 1 or 2 pumps. You don't need that much. This is a really sticky primer, so it helps it stick the foundation to your skin. So I just rub it on my hands and Now that we are all primed, I'm gonna be putting on my foundation. My holy grail foundation, favorite of all time, is easily the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Foundation. It is expensive, but I've found that nothing else matches my skin tone the way this does. It's waterproof, it lasts all day, and it doesn't look like you're wearing a lot of makeup, which I appreciate. So this is my holy grail. I wear the shade Cool Ivory 1.25. I would say it's medium coverage. It's definitely buildable. Just shake it up a little bit before. Put some pumps on the back of my hand. Alright, and I don't know. This is the way I do it. I just spread it out more evenly on my hand. Whatever's left on my finger, I apply to this side of my face. Now that my foundation is applied, again, spread it out a little bit. I'm having this little red patch that's not picking it up as much, but that's okay. Blend it down to your neck. Any redness that I didn't get with the foundation, I will get with my concealer, which is the next product. The concealer I've been using for a couple years. I love it. Haven't really looked for anything else that does the job for me. Is the Tarte Shape Tape. I am the shade Light Sand. A lot of product usually comes out in the applicator, so I just wipe off the excess. Don't need a whole ton. I just apply it on my chin. This is typically where I have any acne scars or pimples. This is currently where I get them. And then I also just take a little in the corner of my eye. And then with a damp beauty sponge, I just use a Morphe sponge. I just take that and bounce it all over. You don't rub, that will rub it off. You just bounce it. Now that concealer is applied, it is time to go in with my powder. I've used this for years, the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. It's my all-time favorite. So it needs a little bit more. Shake it out. Alright. So first, I set any areas I put concealer on just to make sure it doesn't crease or the product doesn't move too far from where I've applied it to. So I would typically use a powder puff, but I don't know where mine is. So I'm just gonna use the other side of the Beauty Blender. I didn't. Just have some powder on there and Alright, the next step in my makeup routine is bronzer. I've been currently using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It's something I've used for a couple years and I really like it. It smells like chocolate. They have a darker shade of just regular chocolate, and I believe they also have a dark chocolate shade. The milk chocolate works best for me because I'm on the pale side, so it just adds a nice little depth of color, but not too dark. Now that we are all bronzed up, it is time for blush, which is one of my favorite parts of my makeup routine, just because I love to add some color. Pink is my favorite, so that's where we can get this color back into our face. The blush shade that I'm currently using is by Lancome, and it is in the shade Sheer Amoureuse. It is expensive. You don't need to spend a lot of money on blush. I got this for Christmas, so if I didn't have this one, I would be using the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Rose d'Oro. This is my holy grail blush as well. You can get this at any drugstore. It's very affordable. In my opinion, you don't need to spend $25 on blush, but if you would like to, you do it, sis. You do what you need to do. So I just take an angled blush brush. There's tons of different brands out there, obviously. Again, this is part of this little brush that I got from Is Cosmetics, and this is the Soft Touch blush. This is the shade of blush. It's a very light pinky shade. Again, something a little bit darker would be too dark for my skin tone. And I just smile. Gives a little color. And then over the nose. I love to put blush on my nose. Alright, so I'm going to use my Sugar Plum Fun palette, and I'm going to take this Morphe M441 brush. It's a big fluffy blending brush, and when I do eyeshadow on my everyday look, I just put a little bit of color on my eyelids so they don't get lost or look pretty empty. So I just take a mix of the shades Tasty Treat and Tutu, this light beigey shade and this pink shade, and I just go back and forth on the palette. Tap, 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 tap. And every Too Faced product smells like something. This smells like candy. It's so pretty. So I just take this fluffy brush and I just literally swipe it all over my eyelid. Just take a blending brush and with no product on it, and I spread it out. Just has a little bit of color, nothing too dramatic. And if I'm feeling like I want a little sparkle, I will take the shade Dancing in Their Heads, which is this little pink shimmery shade, literally on my finger, rub it on, and then I'll just tap it over my eyelid. Just to add a little shimmer, a little shine. And really, once I do that, got the desired shimmeriness you want, I take this blending brush again, the M441 from Morphe, tap, 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 and I just blend it all together. As I said before, I really don't enjoy doing my eyebrows. It's my least favorite step, but it's time to do them, and the product that I've used since day one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz pencil in the shade Blonde. This is the pencil with the skinnier tip, if you can see. I don't have very big eyebrows, and I don't like them to be very bold. It's just not the way I prefer my eyebrows to look. But again, you do you, sis, whatever works for you. So I first take the little spoolie end, and I just brush my brow hairs. Completely cohesive, so that's why I do like need to fill them in a little bit. So I just take the brow pencil, and my technique is probably horrible, but this is how I've been doing it since I was like 14, so can't break the habit any longer. It's far gone. I just follow the natural shape of my brow at the bottom of the tail. I do have a pretty good brow shape. I don't feel like I need to extend the tail. Then I just line it up over here. Again, everyone prefers their eyebrows to look different. And now I'm just following the upper line of my brow and connecting the bottom at the tail. And then this area right here clearly needs some filling in. So that's what I do. Satisfied, take the spoolie end again and I blend it all in. I don't leave it blocked out and bricky looking. I like to spread it out. Again, connects my face a little bit more, but not crazy dramatic. So let me go do the other eyebrow and then we'll move on to mascara. The first mascara I use two to get the look I want. You know, if you're lucky, you only have to use one. If you use three, again, whatever works for you, but this is what I do. So one of my all-time favorites is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I just love this stuff. Putting mascara is on pretty self-explanatory, but I just brush it over my lashes. Now that we have my first mascara on, gonna let it sit for a second. See, it just does a little something for me. I love it. The next mascara I use and I love is Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. This is by far one of the best mascaras I've ever used. It really does make your eyelashes long. I think it goes nicely on top over the Better Than Sex. It's also beautiful on its own. Alright, the last step in my makeup routine is highlighter, and the one I've been using is by Becca in the shade Opal. It is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you. Ooh, she's pretty. I used this Morphe brush. It didn't come on its own, it came in a box set, so I don't know if they sell it separately, but you can find something like this. It's big and fluffy. I just tap it in, tap off the excess, and at the tip of my nose. Makes your nose look a little smaller, and I have quite the nose, so I like to make it look a little smaller if I can. And then to lock it all in place, I use the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And that is it. Well, that does complete my everyday makeup look. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in.